No, sir.
I guess we're ready.
Disaster exercise. It's Wednesday morning.
Would you call the roll, please? Oh, through, yeah, that helps.
1 o'clock, sometime we're gonna go ahead through lunch.
Would you call the roll, please?
Robert Kraus,
Present.
Jason Blair,
Here?
Melissa Hunt,
Here.
Terry Kavner, David Roberts,
Here.
Mark Ham,
Here.
Glenn Lewis.
Here, would you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held November 2nd, 2015. Item B, receive the minutes of the regular Parks Board meeting held September 1st, 2015. Item C is declare certain police vehicles as surplus. Item D is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2015-2016 in the amount of $6,832,186.62.
Make a motion to approve?
All right.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 3 is consider approval of resolution number 83315, selecting CEC Corporation to perform citywide bridge inspections for the 2016-2018 ODOT Bridge Inspection Program.
Mayor and Council, every other year ODOT requests that the city choose a engineering contractor to inspect the bridges within the Moore city limits. This year, we have interviewed 3 teams for those inspections. We interviewed CEC, which is also known as Cobb Engineering, Lochner, and Olson and Associates. The interview team was myself, Gabe Savigny, the Assistant Community Development Director, and Richard Sandifer, the Public Works Director. After interviewing these 3 firms, the team did feel that CEC or Cobb Engineering would be the most responsive to our needs. We request that you approve them as a city selection and approve the resolution. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Elizabeth, out of curiosity, how many bridges do we have?
We have 26, I believe.
That many. All right, thanks.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you. Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 4 is consider approval of a contract with Guernsey Consultants of the City of Moore Comprehensive Plan Update in the amount of $401,491 to be funded through the CDBG DR program.
Mayor and Council, we would request tonight that you table this to the next meeting. We're still in works in getting a contract that's agreeable to both parties written up. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you both. We have a motion to table and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Thank you. Item number 5 is consider approving the use of WEX Incorporated fuel card services for fleet fuel purchases.
Mayor and Council, we presently use a company named Fuelman that tracks all of our fuel purchases. Each vehicle and piece of equipment has its own ID card, and then the employees have a personal PIN number, and the combination of both of those is what they use to purchase fuel. However, during the last few years, some of our local vendors have decided not to accept Fuelman anymore, and we started looking for a different company, and we found a company called Wax. It's spelled W-E-X, but it's pronounced Wax, they tell me. So we decided to seek your approval to use Wax. They also will allow us to use any 7-Eleven in the city, whereas now we can only use the one at 19th and Eastern. Also, it will also be used at the new OnCue. And they're accepted nationwide whenever we have to travel, like to Tulsa or Dallas or somewhere. So with your approval, we'll enter into agreement with them. It's no cost to us, and they monitor all of our fuel.
It's cost to us for the fuel, but no cost for
Right.
the
Say that's a great
service.
deal.
Yeah, their service, there's no cost for their service.
And we do get a more or less wholesale type rate for.
Right, they take all the taxes off at the time of purchase. We only see what we see the fuel cost without the taxes, which is about 35 cents, 35 and a half cents of local, federal, state taxes on gasoline per gallon.
Okay,
Move to approve.
all right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote?
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item number 6 is discuss and consider pursuant to Section 7-204 of the Moore Municipal Code, rejecting all bids at bid number 1516-005, purchase and installation of shade structures for Buck Thomas Park baseball fields, and authorizing the solicitation of new bids.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and Council, this item is for the installation of shade structures at Buck Thomas baseball field. The bid that we put out did not include two things that we think were important. One was references for the bidders, and then the other thing was specify certain project experience, and we did not include that. We've done that on some of our other projects. So we're asking you to reject these bids. Due to the shortage of time, we want to have this project done by the opening of baseball this upcoming March. We'll ask Apollo to move forward with this project. They'll solicit the bids, and they'll manage the project moving forward. So if y'all approve that, that'll be our recommendation. So I'll be happy to take any questions.
Do we still have a contract with Apollo?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we do.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'm sorry, by doing that, is that gonna
Speed up the process.
speed it up, it'd be
Yes.
comparable charges and that's.
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to approve.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote?
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item carries. Thank you, Todd. Item number 7 is consider awarding RFP number 1516-003 internal audit for the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery to home CPAs and business advisors in the amount of $65,178.96.
Mayor and Council, we submitted requests for proposals in late September for an internal audit firm for our Community Development Disaster Recovery grant. It is a program requirement. We do have an internal audit done on our program. We received one response, which is Horn CPAs. They are experienced in disaster recovery over the country. Fees have not been increased from last year's, and staff recommends approval of the contract. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 8 is consider awarding RFP number 1516-004, technical assistance for Community Development Block Grant and Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery to Community Development Services, Capital Planning, and Resiliency.
Mayor and Council, this was a request for proposal sent out in September for technical assistance services on our disaster recovery program. This is on an as-needed basis on an hourly rate. We received 12 responses. We interviewed, staff committee interviewed 7 firms. The staff recommends contract approval for community development services on the hourly rate proposed in the contract. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
How much is the hourly contract?
The hourly rate's $110 an hour.
Okay.
This is the same company that we've been using since early on in our disaster recovery project with the CDBG funds. Gentleman out of
Tennessee.
that has been really helpful, kind of helping us maneuver through all of the guidelines and the requirements and that sort of thing. So,
We have to come here very much.
The first year was extremely heavy. We have a few projects in the pipeline, including the redevelopment project that we'll need technical assistance on, but his services will be drastically reduced from the past year.
he has been to town this last year or so, year and a half, once
Probably
a month
once a
or
month.
thereabouts.
Yeah.
It won't be quite that much going forward, but still we'll make some trips.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes. Item carries. Item number 9 is consider awarding RFP number 1516-005 Public Works On-Demand Construction Services to Cimarron Construction Company.
Mayor and council, items 9, 10, and 11 are companion items. We submitted a request for proposal for on-demand capital improvements back in October. As you know, with the HUD funds, they are funding that's reduced in time, that has an expenditure deadline. So we felt that increasing our capital improvements construction crews would be a good idea. This was a 3-step process. The first step, we did a request for proposal, reviewed all the contractors' qualifications that's submitted. The second part was a scoring matrix that was done by the committee. We also had an engineer on the committee. And then once the firms were qualified, we opened the sealed bids. This process was done, sealed bids by category of roadway, drainage, traffic signals, and emergency construction services. We received and qualified bids from 5 companies. After the selection process, the city recommends contracts with Cimarron Construction for the drainage section, Rudy Construction and Silver Star Construction for roadway, drainage, and emergency construction services, and reject all traffic signal submittals for rebid. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. You said construction on the last one to rebid. What are you rebidding?
So we did section 3 was traffic signals, which included signalizing and striping. We weren't specific in our bid items, and so some firms put in arm masks, some didn't. We need to reject them to make clarification to include arm masks in the bid.
Okay. Now, that's not on my agenda.
There's not an actual agenda item
To reject it.
To reject.
reject it. We just will rebid those items because
You'll
all the
do that
bidders,
administratively.
all the bidders didn't, we're making you aware of it, but all the bidders didn't read the bid specifications the same way. They're a little unclear
Okay.
as to who was providing some of the equipment in that. And that's only for signalization projects. These other projects are the ones that are critical in terms of starting construction on these residential streets and on our streets in the storm area that we've been working towards getting going.
Okay.
All 3 of these firms are ready to start construction
Friday.
soon.
Yeah.
These items need to be dealt with individually.
Yes, I mean, a separate vote would, but they're all the same kind of contract. The 2 contracts, or all the contracts really are identical contracts. The pricing is a little different the way they bid them.
Okay.
I would Make a motion to approve item 9.
Okay,
Second.
thank you. Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 10 is consider awarding RFP number 1516-005, Public Works on Demand Construction Services to Reedy Construction Company, Capital Planning and Resilience through HUD.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you. Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this one? Now, I always said I wouldn't vote for these guys again, but you talked me into it, so I hope they prove me wrong, because it took almost 2 years to finish out Broadway and Main. It should have been a 6-month project.
We've had some extensive discussions with them about this, and we believe that the residential type streets that they'll be doing is more their forte, and we made them aware of the deadline issues and that sort of thing. They are a good company and had some issues there, but they're a good company, and we feel like they'll do a good job.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you.
There's already been a motion.
Oh, we already have one? I'm sorry. Would you call for the vote?
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes. Item carries. Item number 11 is awarding RFP number 1516-005, Public Works on Demand Construction Services to Silver Star Construction.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote?
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we'll recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item number 12 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Public Works Authority meeting held November 2nd, 2015. Item B, approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2015-2016 in the amount of $572,348.70.
Move to approve?
Second.
Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the claims or expenses? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes. Item carries. Item number 13 is consider approval of a property and contents insurance policy with AmRisc, a boiler and machinery policy with XL Insurance Company, and physical damage coverage for city sanitation trucks with Great American Insurance Company, with Universal Insurance Agency as the agent.
Mayor and trustees, our current insurance agent for property is Tom Green with Universal Insurance Agency. Our current property insurance is with AmRisc. The physical damage coverage for our sanitation trucks is with Great American Insurance Company. And our current boiler and machinery is with Zurich American Insurance Company. Universal Insurance Company shop the market directly and indirectly through Sweat and Crawford, which is a very large firm. AmRisc has offered a flat renewal rate for the coming year, which is approximately 26 cents per $100 of value, including boiler and machinery. Now, this does not include terrorism, which is available, although it's very expensive. Physical damage for the sanitation trucks renewal is approximately 44.5 cents per 100 of value compared to 44 cents per 100 last year, which is a very slight increase in that portion of it. The staff recommends that the MPWA trustees approve the AmRisc policy for our property and contents coverage, which includes earthquake and flood, and XL Insurance Company for boiler and machinery, and Great American Insurance Company's policy for physical damage for sanitation trucks for 1 year for a total of about $316,000. And Universal Insurance Company is our agent. Now, The 316 is based on our, approximately 316,000 is based on our current property values, which they'll be going up, and it's, the rate will still be the same. It'll just go up as we build more property. Tom Green with Universal Insurance is here to answer any questions that you might have.
Make a motion that we approve.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Abstain?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item number 14 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Risk Management meeting held November 2nd, 2015. Item B, approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2015-2016 in the amount of $220,060.72.
Move to approve?
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Never mind, it's a consent docket. Would you call for the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we will recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and convene the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting. Terry's not here. Is that you, Deb?
I think that. Would the clerk call the roll, please?
Robert Kraus,
Present.
Jason Blair,
Here?
Melissa Hunt,
Here.
Glenn Lewis,
Here.
David Roberts,
Here.
Mark Ham,
Here.
Terry Gavner.
Item 16 is the consent docket, of which there's one item. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Economic Development Authority meeting held October the 19th, 2015.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes. This time we will recess the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting and reconvene the city council meeting.
Okay, thank you. Let the record reflect that the members were here before, are still here. Item 17 is new business. Item A is citizens forum for items not on the agenda. We have no one signed up. Would anyone like to speak? Come on up. If you would state your name and address for the record, please.
Linda Morris. I'm at 119 South Classen Avenue, Moore. We recently, in our neighborhood, have been undergoing construction. We have numerous elderly that Silver Star has been working with in our area. Mr. Stanley Drake told us our yards would be raked from gravel. That has not been done. They have laid sod over the gravel. We mow most of these elderly's yard. The gravel with that lawnmower is going to be going everywhere. Somebody's liable to get hurt, windows busted out, vehicles damaged. And I do have pictures to prove how much gravel is on these yards. We also, Classen just opened up today. We are already having issues with speeders. I'm not talking 5 miles over. We're talking 20 plus. Some of the neighbors heard racing going on Saturday night. I have complained about this issue with Mr. Stanley Drake a couple of times. Nothing is being done. There is no speed limit signs anywhere, which there is a possibility, maybe they're going to put them in later. But we need some assistance with the speeders, and we need something done with all this gravel. We have a driveway that's way too steep. My better half can no longer work in his vehicles because if he gets on one of those board things with the wheels, he's going to go straight into the street. We have numerous people that are very unhappy, but a lot of them are elderly and do not get out at night. And it is a very cold, wet night. And we need some assistance. We feel that Mr. Stanley Drake has let us down, and Silver Star Construction. We were told any of the driveways that's going to be blocked from Kevin with Silver Star, he would notify us. That never happened at all. We have people that work graveyard, everything. Silver Star really let us down. The city has let us down, especially Mr. Drake.
What kind of construction were we doing in
They-
your house?
Let him explain. They dropped the street down like 4 or 5 feet, supposedly for flood control. But this flood control is on their Service Road by OnQ. It's not that deep, approximately 10 feet. And they did some other ditches. None of us feel this is going to work. Also, there's no fence around it. Now, I have asked Mr. Drake before if there was going to be a fence so none of our kids would drown. He was going to look into the issue, but he's never got back with me. If there is going to be a fence put up around that. So, we need some help and assistance from you.
I'm just curious, other than tonight, have you reached out to any of your city council people? Asked them about it?
No. This is a first for us. We've never been this point. And some of these people have been here forever.
Yeah, I've too. I've lived here a long while. And I know that our city staff, and I would just speak on their behalf, work really hard to ensure that we have a great community to live in. So I don't believe that anything that has been overlooked is anything that's intentional. And I know that we can fix it. That's our purpose. But we have a great city staff.
Yeah, I've tried to get hold of the mayor before, but no one wants to give out his number.
I'm in the book. I'm in the phone book.
You're in the phone book?
I'm in the phone
I don't have
book.
a white pages anymore. I have the cell phone.
I mean, don't make it sound like I'm hard to find.
But I've tried.
This area
Do
is,
y'all have anything to say? Karen?
Just mostly, patrol the area, patrol the street. We have little ones that walk down the street to visit the elderly people and get some insight. From Main Street to 4th Street is a speed lane.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when all of you get up and running, we're gonna have a whole lot of traffic.
this is the old electric addition. It's south of Main Street between Telephone Road and the interstate. And we've had complaints over there for many years with regard to the flooding issues, street flooding issues, flooding of the bar ditches and all of that. So we looked at options to correct those things, and what we did was repave all of the streets. Well, 1st Street and 2nd Street in Classen. All those were completely torn out. The roadway was lowered. It was not lowered 3 or 4 feet at all, but it was lowered for these roadways, and we put curbs in. This area did not have curbs. It was a bar ditch area that we have problems with bar ditch neighborhoods all over town just because some fill them in, some don't fill them in, some have undersized tin horns, some size their tin horns correctly. So we eliminated the bar ditches, dropped the road, put curb and gutter. These are brand new concrete streets. We feel like it's an improvement. As far as the gravel, we can do our best to take care of that. And the speeding, that's just a matter of getting the speed limit signs put up, which we'll do. The speed limit is 25. People that are going to speed don't go by what the sign says, frankly. And we have motorcycle patrols that are very good at catching speeders if they're out there, so we can take care of that. Ms. Morris has been somewhat concerned about this project from day one. I would say that most of the people over there that we've heard from are very happy to have new streets in that neighborhood.
But we are not happy with Silver Star.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but they are the contractor that did the project for us, and by and large, do great work for the city.
But they need to improve on communication.
Well, I apologize for that.
Okay.
We try our best to try to let people know what's happening in their neighborhoods. They're not always going to be able to let every individual property owner know at any given time that something's going to be closed or they're going to be pouring concrete at a certain time or whatever.
Right, so we start working, talking to Source about getting that gravel removed before something happens.
We haven't left that job site, and I'm for certain there's gravel behind the curb lines. We had to keep that subdivision functioning and passable with vehicular traffic while it was under construction. We put a lot of gravel in that roadway for temporary roads. And the reason we're over there, we had that, when we started that master drainage plan, we had a meeting over there at the senior center back in May, and there was an outcry from that neighborhood, and we've got to have some help. They received flooding, they had water in their homes. There was no storm sewer in that subdivision whatsoever. And what we had to do was lower those streets where we could drain the water away from the houses. In certain situations, the streets were actually higher than the houses. And I really think it's a nice job, and like I said, we're not finished. We will rake them yards, we're planting sod, we're moving along. We start on the low end every time we do a road project, just because the water's less problematic. And the driveway's the issue. This lady has a corner lot, she has 2 driveways, and on that driveway on Southwest First, it's close to the property line. We had a short distance to work with from the garage door to the street. And we actually took out additional panels on her property to soften that slope, and it's manageable. It's less than a 10% slope, and there's driveways, many driveways in this city that are more severe than that.
They also broke the old driveway, and I've shown there's a huge crack between the old and the new that is going to cause issues.
It's the first I've heard of it, I'll look at it.
Well, Kevin is aware of it.
But anyway, I think it's a nice project, and I'd encourage you all to drive it. It's a huge improvement, and a majority of those neighbors are tickled to death.
I would agree. I've been over the neighborhood, driving through there often, the road. Amazing
As with-
what they were. But
And
we want to
We
help
still have the
you.
issue with the gravel, and they've already
Yeah,
put
and
sod
these-
on a lot of it that's just,
Right.
wow.
Look at that, and then I would just encourage you to send an email to your council person. You don't have to, but we work for you. We want to hear from you, and we will.
From now on, trust me,
we
you
will,
will, and we will be here.
We will do.
Good, all right, thanks.
Thank you.
As with any street, when you get a new street in that's easily driven, sometimes we do have speeding issues, and we can address those easily enough.
Okay. Any items from the city council or trustees?
Just have one quick thing. Mr. Edie mentioned it in an email a couple weeks ago, and it's the regional task force, and that has to do with the rail that will come through here someday. And I think it was December 3rd, there is a press conference that's going to be in Oklahoma City at the Santa Fe station. And I can't remember the time, but we'll get an email about that, and Mr. Edie will probably forward that to you guys. But it's open to the council. It'll be kind of a big deal.
I think I sent it out, but I'll try to send it out again
Okay.
as to the time and all, but it's kind of the public unveiling, if you will, of the efforts that are going to be going forward over the years to look at regional transit.
Just like to come, be a part of that, be great. That's all I have.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Item C is any items from the city manager or trust manager?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Okay. Item number 18 is executive session. Section 307, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes permits a public body to meet in executive session for certain specified reasons under certain specified conditions. It is the opinion of the city attorney that the city council may consider and adopt a motion to meet in executive session to discuss the following item. Item A, discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, consider taking possible action regarding pending claim by Jeff Bridges, WCC number 2004-00072-H against the city of Moore, and authorization for legal counsel and staff to take actions as necessary and appropriate in the interest of the city of Moore as authorized by 25 Oklahoma statutes 307B-4. Do we have a motion to convene to executive session?
Make a motion to convene to executive session.
Second.
Thank you both. Would you call for a vote, please?
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Thank you. Yes, we are convened to executive session.
here's about the one. What I have more constantly.
Hey, Randy,
Hers is a little darker
I think
too.
this goes to you. You're giving it to me and.
No, I've already
We've
got
seen
You
it.
already got one?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the kids nowadays
I
are
guess
doing
I'll read the
great
rest of
hair.
it.
Yeah, read the rest of it.
That's enjoyable reading.
That's what you're saying.
Would you call the roll back from executive session, please?
Robert Kraus,
Present.
Jason Blair,
Here.
Melissa Hunt,
Here.
David Roberts,
Here.
Mark Ham, Glenn Lewis.
Here. Do we have a motion on the executive session?
I make a motion for staff to proceed as directed.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item 19 is adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham, Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
I was just sitting there, I was like, what are we doing?
That's